April the 3rd and 11:15, 11:30.
Well, they've been targeting us with police brutality. One of the medics was thrown headfirst into a plate glass window. He suffered a concussion. Another medic was thrown on the ground and knocked out.
When was that?
That was 2 Wednesdays ago, the first day of spring.
Oh, okay. But more recently?
More recently, they just more recently, they haven't done anything to them since the 2-week period.
Right.
But leading up to that, they've arrested 33 of us. Well, medics 33 times for doing our job, which is simply helping people.
Right.
Every time they arrest us, they keep the supplies.
So what supplies do you need mostly?
Mostly, right now, we need things for foot care. We need antifungal cream, we need foot powder, we need socks. People are marching a lot, and with their feet get worn out, and we don't have good sanitary facilities. They don't allow us.
So that's like,
we need water. We need immune system support to keep up our health in the weather here. And we need the regular stuff, the gauze bandages, the tape, antibacterial stuff, Neosporin.
Thucydides said, "Justice will not come until those who are not injured are as indignant as those who are injured."
It's a quote from my common book of quotes that we all should have these. Virginia Woolf had one.
Mic check. We have an issue. With our stuff being out here. Like it is. We have to be a bit more discreet. And more resourceful. With how we accommodate. Our belongings. Be resourceful. Again, I stress that we just use our minds. And hook things up to where we can still subsist here. Straighten up. If you have something here, pick it up.
I'm a person living with HIV. I have been for the past 25 years. I'm also an occupier. I'm also a former unionist.
Which union?
Postal Workers Union. I'm a letter carrier, but I went on disability in 1999. So I was a postman, I was a shop steward, I also was a supervisor. I'm sorry. I'm disappointed that the press conference was so short. I wanted to make on Kingsgate, Dr. King's Day, 44 years ago, he was assassinated. So this is a special day to me. I live in Manhattan here, Upper East Side. We're forming the AIDS Walk team under the Occupy umbrella. It's AIDS Walk, May 20th, Central Park.
Okay.
And it starts at 8:30. You come, you sign in, you walk at 10, 6 miles, and it's for a worthy cause.
My name is Kimberly Ortiz, and I'm a member of the Retall Action Project. I think that May Day is amazing. I fully support May Day. We always march on May Day, and we'll be doing so this year. I've been marching May Day for about 7 years now.
And your group is?
The Retall Action Project, and also I'm with the Socialist Party USA as well. We represent both big chain store workers and little, so from high-end retail to low-end retail, our group is member-led, member-based, and we're all retail workers who came together.
Like, MoveOn is definitely troublesome. Like, there's definitely some troublesome elements to being like, let's re-elect the Democrats, yay! When Obama has probably done more problematic things for this country than, make sure that these people come to our rallies and not MoveOn. Yeah. But, like, MoveOn doesn't do civil disobedience anyway, so they're going to kind of have to show up. I'm mostly InterOccupy. I've been traveling all over the country, so... But I do a lot of outreach. I do a lot of civil disobedience, a lot of nonviolence.
And what's your take on it, Robbie?
Well, I think actually she said it perfectly. Like, I think she's absolutely right. Like, if people, like, we believe in autonomy, and MoveOn wants to have some civil disobedience training for free for all these people, like, because she's exactly right. MoveOn, do it. MoveOn is incredibly boring, and they're part of a failed nonprofit model. They believe in the Democratic Party, which I think the failure of the Democratic Party, the failure of, we all elected Obama and we all had such high hopes. Like, I think the failure of his administration to do anything useful, I wouldn't say that he's worse than Bush, but he's been mostly useless. I think that's why.
NDAA might be worse than Bush.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, like, he's passed a lot of horrible laws. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think, I was talking about this with a friend of mine earlier today. I think Occupy, we're really a space for people to figure out what they care about. And, you know, right? We're just a space to, like, talk and figure out and all of that stuff. And so, like, for instance, ALEC, which is the American Legislative Executive Council, is a big lobbying organization. You know, they're horrible. They've been behind some really horrible laws. 3 corporations have dropped out in the last week.
Which ones?
Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and Kraft,
Oh, I didn't hear Kraft.
I believe so. Yeah.
I didn't hear about Coca-Cola.
And it's not that Occupy, the brand, did that. But what we did was we made space for a national conversation about this stuff. So through social media, through petitions, through all of that. MoveOn didn't do that either. Like, they didn't create that space. We created that space. And that's all we need to do, because human beings are fantastic. We're wonderful people. And if you give them a space to talk about and to reconnect and to care about and to come out of their apartments and out from behind the computer screen and talk to their fellow human beings, we can fix this country. We can totally fix this country. You know, so that's one victory. I think that same sense to Bank of America, we've raised a lot of awareness about Goldman Sachs, about Bank of America, Monsanto. You know, we've done fantastic awareness raising. We're going to continue to do that. And then we're all autonomous human beings. Like, Occupy is such like an American way of looking at the world too, because it's very like autonomy. You know, like, you don't like Goldman Sachs, like, go do something about it. You know, you want to end corporate merger, go do that. Like, we don't care, healthcare, go do it.
We reminded people, the important thing I think is that, like, we totally reminded people that they are, like, individuals, which is a very American thing, but we reminded them that we're not individuals in this gross consumerist culture.
Right. We also have solidarity.
Yeah, there's, like, always been this, like, we're individuals as American, we make our own thing, we do our own world, and we kind of reminded people that actually you're an individual in a community, and your actions impact other people. So yes, like, you're going to be held accountable to that community. And I think, like, we open up a space, and we also reminded people that being on the streets is actually really effective. Like, shutting down a bank is really freaking effective. Like, direct action really, really works. Where petition, the politicians are like, cool, 1 million people signed something, shook. Like, it's not as impressive as, like, those 1 million people showing up ready to storm the Bastille if the politicians don't get their butts kicked here. Like, very funny, very effective, like, this is a direct action movement. I mean, sitting down in a park, we kind of, like, it's really funny because it was super militant. Like, it's not. It shouldn't be. To, like, sit in a park isn't, like, this radical, crazy, insane action. But, like, we see hundreds of police here every night. So clearly, the elites of the state consider this kind of community really militant. But we reminded, like, we made radicalism a little bit easier barrier of entry for a lot of people. Come sit in the park. Let's sit in the park, hang out. It's awesome. You know. We have great music, food, chat with people. It's excellent.
Yes, you're at the president. Green card. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't understand. Hey, Cynthia McKinney. Yeah.